Hello Stampers, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Staley, Addicted Stamper, and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the United States outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in a small town called Dillsburg. Thank you for stopping by today. I'm looking forward to creating with you, and hopefully you will enjoy the project that I'm going to share with you this morning. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. And if you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for coming back to watch another Make It Monday. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you that have subscribed to my channel and are watching. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and also the bell so that you're notified when future videos are uploaded. Just going to take a minute or two here to talk about what's going on in the Stampin' Up world, and then we will hop right into our project. So, of course, as you probably know by now, if you are a Stampin' Up lover, celebration, our second celebration of the year is going on. This runs until September 30th, and this little book is full of all kinds of good stuff that you can get for free with a qualifying $50 or $100 order. The penguins and the little penguin paper. That is so cute. Of course, the penguin bundle is in the mini catalog, but the coordinating paper is free during celebration. This is a beautiful set, and if you like to watercolor, it's going to be a great one for you. We have the beautifully penned paper that coordinates with the hand-penned bundle in the annual catalog. And then, of course, our Peaceful Deer bundle that's also in this mini. We have some coordinating paper for that. All of those items are free with a $50 order, as are the sheep and the coordinating dies. And then a cute little textures and frames stamp set. I can see lots of fun backgrounds being created with that one, as well as these beautiful summer shadow dies. I love these. If you do not check out my Facebook page, then I'll share with you. I did these cards on Thursday during Coffee and Card using the Shaded Summer Stamp Set and the summer shadow dies that are here for free with a $100 purchase. So, well, along with a few other accessories. So that is a great set, and I love that we now have the dies to go with them. But remember, the dies are only going to be available until September 30th or while supplies last. And that is true of the bedazzled paper. That is while supplies last, and it is also true, of the sheep dies. So keep that in mind. The rest of it, I think they feel confident that they have enough supply, but those three items will be while supplies last only. And then the free Dahlia set, which is also a beautiful set, free with a $100 order. And then this great In Your Words. Oh my goodness, I love this stamp set. The words are fabulous. Could be that they polled the demonstrator population and asked us for suggestions on what words we'd like to see and what words we use most often when we're creating, our handwritten greetings. And they took those and they created this amazing stamp set that you get for free with a $300 party. Now, that could be a book party, that could be a virtual party online. It might even be your own personal order because you have a huge wish list. But if you have a huge wish list, then I want to make sure that I am doing my due diligence to tell you about the special offer that's going on right now. And this is the starter kit, which is always a great deal, but during celebration and a few other times throughout the year, they add a little extra goodie or two in there. If you're not aware, for the starter kit, you get $125 in product for $99 plus tax. Stampin' Up even picks up the shipping and handling on that. But during celebration, and again through September 30th, you can choose any of the bundles that are in this catalog. So for absolutely free. No shipping, no tax, just pick a bundle. So some of these bundles, one of them is up to $60, so that could be an additional $60 in free product for you. And I always hear, I don't have time, I don't know anybody, etc. Well, that's okay, because you can just get the starter kit, take advantage of the 20% discount that comes along with that for at least 3 months, and say thanks so much and go back to being a happy shopper. Or you might be able to do a little bit of something on the side and pay for your own goodies, your own Stampin' Up goodies with that income. Or maybe, as I did, I signed up for the discount, guys. I had no intention of becoming a demonstrator that was going to be long-term. I was in for 3 months, get some toys at a discount and get out. I just celebrated my 18-year anniversary. and I now do this as my full-time job. So you just never know where the path may lead you when you just take that little jump and go ahead and grab those goodies at a great deal. So if you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with in the US and you'd like more information on that, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you, and would love to have you as part of my Stellar Stamper team. We have a great time together. And then I just want to remind you about my Facebook presence. I'm live on there 3 times a week. Tuesdays at 2 with a tip or a technique. Thursdays at 10 with coffee and cards. And Sunday with a Come Stamp Along with Me, which is our mystery evening. I send out the supplies in the morning that I'm going to be using that night, or at least the card measurements, and suggest what you bring along. And then we create projects together. I do 2 that night. Usually one's a fancy fold or a fun fold. So if you like those, great thing to come and join us for that. Or just come and hang out, chit chat with everybody. We have a great time. Okay. And of course, it's Lori Staley, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on Facebook. All right. I think that is all I was going to share with you. Let me pull the card out here. And let me tell you what we're using. We are using Christmas Season, which of course is one of the new stamp sets in the mini catalog. And you've got all kinds of pine cones and greenery and berries with this stamp set. I want to make sure the glare is not taking it out for you. And then all these great dies, right? So of course everything for your stamped images is here, your holly and the pine cones and the sprig of pine, but then look at all the different labels that you get, and some matting labels as well. And everybody keeps asking, okay, what are these tiny little things? They're to create holes, for lack of slots maybe, for a better term, that you can put your ribbon through, right? So you could slide your ribbon down in, bring it across the back, and bring it out on this side, up and out, and then attach it to your card. So lots of fun dies with this one, and this die set is called Seasonal Layers, and of course the stamp set is Christmas Season. And then we're also using this bundle, Christmas to Remember, which is just chock full of great holiday greetings. You will love that one, I'm sure. Lots of different fonts in that, and all kinds of good greetings. And then this is the die set. So this is a layering die. It's big, right? Almost the front of the card. This is your base. It's the one that is more solid. And then you have the detailed image, which goes up on top of that one. And then, of course, you have a couple of different sizes of pine cones here that you can die cut. Now, the good news is we're using this die set, but I already ran it through. But I got to tell you guys, the stuff just fell out. Like, I literally just ran my finger over it, and it just fell out. So you got to love that, right? More and more, I think we're doing a better job with our detailed dies. I also do think, and I am not trying to influence you to grab that new die cutting machine, which, by the way, you could get as part of your starter kit. So, and still have, I think, what, $5 in product to choose, plus that free bundle. So maybe that's something that interests you. But I do think that machine is a little bit tighter, and it does do a great job of cutting the die. So here's our card. I love this gold ribbon. So, so pretty. And I also used a little bit of the gold metallic pearls and a little bit of heat embossing on there for the Merry Christmas. But isn't this gorgeous? I just love it. And on the inside, I just put in one of those fun greetings. May this be a Christmas to remember and cherish, with a little bit of pine. So let me show you real quick how we're going to put this together. I'm using Cherry Cobbler and Evening Evergreen inks, but I'm also using Soft Succulent Dark Blend and Dark Cinnamon Cider Blend. So let me get all my supplies out here. So just a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 Cherry Cobbler. You don't have to worry about the measurements. I will put all of the measurements and supplies beneath this video in the description, so you can just sit and enjoy the show. And here is the base. So we did that in thick basic white just to give it a little bit more body. And that will eventually just go onto our card front. We're going to layer it onto a piece of Evening Evergreen, which is going to layer onto the cherry cobbler. Those are quintessential colors in my book, right? Those scream Christmas. And then I also die cut the top layer. Okay, so this is the one we're gonna play with. And let me grab the blends, because obviously this layer is not white. And I want to make sure that I'm getting the pine cones in there. So we're going to, I am going to use the brush tip, but I am going to lay it on its side. And I'm just going to take it all over where I think the pine cone is, right? And be careful when you do this so that you are getting the entire pine cone. I missed this one, or parts of this one, when I did it the first time. As you can see, this one's a little bit darker than the rest of them. And we're just, again, I'm laying it on its side. I don't want to damage the tip. And we're just going to do that on all the pine cones. Okay. But this way you can have your layer be any color you want. As I said, I used dark soft succulent. You could absolutely bring in evergreen for your layer. You could use soft suede, early espresso for your pine cones. I think this is even a pine cone here, I believe. So we'll get that one done too. All right, so, but what I didn't want is I didn't want my pine cones, there we go, to be white behind there, right? So, and I also didn't want my pine to be white. So I did bring in, as I said, the dark succulent, soft succulent. Just did a little bit on the pine. I'm not going to sit here. I showed you how I did that with the actual pine cones. So I did do one in advance, and I'll go back and finish this one later. But I figured you didn't really need to sit there and watch me do all that. And we're going to find our place here. I love that it's a little bit offset because it adds the snow effect, I think, to your pine, right? Now, if you're smart, you will die cut this using adhesive sheet. I'm not. I didn't do it that way, darn it. So we're going to put it together with some Tombow glue when the time comes. But if you can see, to pull in this gold ribbon, I used that new gold metallic paper that we have. It has the gold and it has the rose gold in with it. It's in the annual catalog, back where the specialty papers are. And I die cut all of these out of that gold paper. So, so pretty. I also wanted to try the gold shimmer vellum. I think that would be beautiful as well. But unfortunately, that didn't come in time. So I will probably have to go back and do one like that. So we're going to go ahead and get all of our little guys lined up here so that we know what we're doing and where we're putting them. And then we're just going to put them down. They don't want to come up. I think I have a couple extra. Always better to have more than you need than not enough, right? And I'm going to bring in my Tombow. Even for these, it will give me some slide time, if you will. And I love using my putty on the Take Your Pick tool to help me pick these things up and put them down. There used to be a commercial like that in our area. I can't remember what it was for, but oh, it might have been for one of the gyms. I don't know if you've ever heard of Planet Fitness. It might have been for Planet Fitness. I pick things up and I put things down. But this way, I am less likely to get glue on my fingers, which is always a challenge because then you stick to everything else that you're working with, right? So there, I needed that little bit of slide because I didn't get that lined up exactly the way I wanted it. So I'd love to know if you guys have started your Christmas cards yet. I have my first Christmas Stamp-A-Stack tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to that. I have some ladies joining me here, so that'll be fun. And then I'll have at least three more Stamp-A-Stacks. Because, you know, I don't know how many Christmas cards you send out, but I send close to 200. And then I add into my business as well, so I need a lot of Christmas cards. And then Friday, no, next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday we have our team meeting. And we do our team meetings, we do one in person for anybody local. And then I do, every other month, I do a Zoom. So 1 month it's in person and 1 month it's Zoom, so that our long distance ladies can join us as well. So that's always fun. All right, so we have our gold pine cones on there. And again, I just want to make sure I've got everything lined up the way it's supposed to be. I am going to grab a silicone pad here. I literally just put one in there. And typically I would have my sponge here, but it doesn't appear to be here. So we're going to go just a little bit of glue. Not a lot, because you don't want it to seep out or gush out, as I like to say. So you want to get that just running a little bit. Now, as you can see, I'm not going everywhere on it. Kind of down some of the pine. But again, even with the adhesive sheet, which would be a great choice, this will give me the opportunity to make sure I have it fully aligned before I truly press it into place, right? So, did I turn that? I sure did. And it does help having the gold there because I can see the pine cones and I kind of get those aligned first. And then if I have to come back in and tweak any of the pine itself, but that really does a nice job. When you get those pine cones aligned, you're pretty much set. Because again, you want some of that white showing so that it looks a little bit like snow. Now we're going to flip this over. Here we have a little bit more surface to put some of our Tombow on. And I'm just going to do a little bit on some of the pine. All right, we'll get that onto our Evergreen. Uh-oh. Come up. There we go. Now I have it all over my fingers. I should have let that dry just a little bit more. That's all right, we're good. We're all good. And see, this just fits. So this is 5 1/8 by 4 3/8 piece of cardstock that we're mounting that onto. And now we're going to grab some seal to mount that. I'm going to lay that aside so I can bring in that beautiful gold ribbon. This is in the mini catalog as well. And it is just gold, right? So it's so pretty. But I thought it set off the pine cones really nicely. So we're going to just trim a piece of that off so we can wrap it around the back. Yep, I have glue all over my fingers now. That's what I was saying. I like to take your pick tool because it keeps the glue off, but Not this time. I managed to get it on me, huh? We're going to wrap that and bring that around. And it pulls in the gold behind the pine cones beautifully. All right. Now I can mount this onto the cherry cobbler. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for a couple seconds. We're going to work on the inside, and we did put the pine and the greeting in here. So we're going to start with the greeting. Make sure I'm somewhat straight. And then I've got the pine right here with evening evergreen. Just like to add a little accent on the inside of the card. I would do the same thing on the envelope. We can mount this. And then I used one of those great labels from the seasonal label dies. That's the one that coordinates with the Christmas season stamp set. And I created our embossed label. And I did that ahead of time so that I didn't have to run the heat gun, which always is so loud when we're live. We are going to use some dimensionals to pop that on there with. Give it even more dimension and depth. Okay. And then the metallic pearls. Now I have to show you these metallic pearls. This is how they showed up. Now I've used several of them, but this is how they showed up after being mailed to me. So we just, we make it work, right? We are going to use the gold. And these are so tiny that I am going to grab my take your pick putty and pick them up that way. And there we go. So, how pretty is that Christmas card? I love it. You know what? I should have put one of these on the inside, but I put the pine in there, so I don't think. Nope, not the way I stamped it. But maybe next time. So there you go, guys. There is the Christmas card I have for you today, again using Christmas to Remember and those dies that creates the pine and the pine cones and the Christmas season. I really hope you liked that. If you did and you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I invite you to shop on my website, addictedstamper.stampinup.net. The August host code right here. Please put that on your order if it's less than $150. If it is $150 or more, do not use the host code. You will be able to take advantage of Stampin' Rewards, so you'll get some free product along with, remember, the celebration items during from now until the end of September with every $50 and or $100 purchase. So keep that in mind. But if you do use this host code and your order is a minimum of $25 in product, you will receive my Just Cards for this month. And they look like this. So you get the 5 card kits. And I can't stamp anything to stay in compliance with Stampin' Up, but all the punching will be done. This guy will be die cut. I love that pumpkin. And the embossing will be done. And a few of these, you really just need the greetings, right? This is the only one, I think, that needs something other than the greetings on here, other than the little snowflakes behind this guy. So you can substitute whatever greetings you have or whatever stamps you have that you want to use. But again, you will get the 5 card kits with envelopes. Everything will be die cut, punched, etc. Just no stamping. Plus, if it's your first order with me, you will receive a small welcome gift at the end of the month in addition to the card kits. So again, that's addictedstamper.stampinup.net. Hey, thank you so much for watching today, folks. I really appreciate it. And come back next week for another Make It Monday. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.